Okay guys, so the first thing I want to review is how I put it together and whether or not it is user-friendly in that regard. So it comes, when it gets delivered, it comes in two parts. Now this is the Gallant range. I bought this off Amazon. I think it cost me about £80, but there are other similar versions of this that are slightly different in structure, but they're the same principle. It arrived within a few days, so it was great when it comes to the delivery. It came in two parts. You have the upper part, which is the pad, and the lower part, which is the base, and then you get a tool and a variety of bolts to put it together. The process of setting it up was super easy. You line the pad up with the holes in the base, and then you basically just screw in the bolts, and it's as simple as that. Because this is freestanding, you do need to fill the base up with something. I, for the time being, have filled it up with water, but you can also fill it up with sand too. That really depends on where you live. You know, if you're going to keep this in a garage, it might be easier to fill it up with a hose pipe. If you're going to keep it in a spare room like I have, I filled it up in my shower and then I pulled it through, but it really isn't that difficult. And obviously if you use sand, it might take you a little bit longer because the hole is only quite small. And then it does have some sucker pads on the bottom of the base. So, I mean, for me, I've got it on carpet, and the suckers obviously just give it a little bit more dispersion on the bottom. But if you've got a hard floor, the sucker pads will stick to the floor, and it'll be really easy. But again, they just screw into the bottom, so it is really easy to set up. So what about the quality? Now, I was really impressed when it turned up. I wasn't sure whether or not, when I first put the order in, whether or not it was going to be of good quality, but I can confirm that this specific make, the Gallant range, it is good quality. It's sewn and stitched at the top, and it's obviously stitched in nicely at the bottom. It feels really nice and compact. I don't know what's inside it. I'm assuming it's some kind of foam, but it does feel really compact. The leather on the outside, or at least I assume it's leather, the leather on the outside is good. Like I say, I've put some fairly heavy work in it recently, and there's no cracking. The top bit, so obviously I assume that it's wrapped up nicely. There is a seam on one side that goes all the way down, which again, even after some heavy use, has held up well. The top bit, I'm assuming, has just been sort of stitched on. Again, there are some signs that it's starting to lift, but I think that's just the nature of when you're hitting it hard. Even good quality bags will start to show wear and tear at the seam. But it's really neat.